What's up, Mortgage Coach community? Dave Savage, and I am interviewing someone I have wanted to interview for multiple years. I've got Mr. Larry Kindall. Larry, welcome to the Mortgage Coach community.
Hey, Dave, thank you. Thanks for inviting me on your program.
Yeah, no, it really is an honor. For anybody who knows Larry, I know you're stoked and you're going to listen to this call. You're going to pay attention. For those that don't know Larry, he founded a real estate company, Colorado Springs. Actually, we're not Colorado Springs.
Fort Collins.
Fort Collins. I should know that. My family's all from Casper, and I've driven through Fort Collins on the way to Denver countless times. Fort Collins, but one of the most profitable real estate companies, one of the most efficient real estate companies in the country, and through that success, wrote a book called Ninja Selling. Larry, how many realtors have purchased and bought that book that you know of?
Pretty close to 100,000 now, Dave.
100,000, and how many
years? Yes.
And then you do like a 2-day realtor training. How many realtors have gone through that?
We have our course is called the Ninja Installation. It's a 4-day course, and we're training 1,000 realtors a month. And we've had this year we'll surpass 80,000.
So mortgage professionals, you're listening to a guy who's built a successful a real estate platform, and almost 80,000 realtors have been through his 4-day program. So you need to take notes if you want to have a competitive advantage with agents. So Larry, could you describe that story of why you wrote Ninja Selling, and then maybe we could pull some big ideas out of it?
You bet. We started out with our real estate company. First of all, a little bit of my background. I went to when I first got my license, I went to a big sales training class on how to sell real estate, and they taught us what I call Depression era selling techniques, which was bone crushing closes, manipulation. You got to have 10 no's to get your first yes. And I felt very uncomfortable with that, and I said, I'm going to find a different way to do the business. And that led basically to what's now called Ninja Selling. And we started practicing that in our real estate company. We received national recognition as the most productive company in the country in terms of transactions per agent. And companies then were calling us and saying, how did you get that productivity? And I said, well, I can show you. So I started teaching classes and then ultimately documented that in the book, Ninja Selling.
And what is an efficient level of transactions per agent, and what is the industry average, just so we can, pull some stats and facts out for folks?
Sure, you bet. The industry average is 6 transactions per agent per year, which is pretty low. At the time we received that award, we were averaging 43 transactions per agent.
Wow.
The ninjas that come through our course, we believe once you come through our training, you should be able to increase your business 20% above whatever the market's doing. So if the market's up 10%, a good ninja should be up 30%. If the market's down 10%, a ninja should be up 10% or more.
And so like in the mortgage space, we have like, hey, the 1% best mortgage professionals are doing over 100 loans annually, and they're doing 20 million-ish plus production. And so if someone's doing 200 loans a year or, 50,000 of production, less than a 1%, or what is it in real estate? What is the top 10% and what is the top 1% from your perspective?
Well, we have quite a few people coming to our classes that are doing in that range of 100 to 200 transactions a year. They're earning in excess of $1 million a year in commission income. Our training program and our approach is really focused on the most productive people in our industry. We're really, there's 1.4 million realtors. There's probably only about 200,000 that really want what we have, which is focused on productivity. And not just productivity, but productivity income per hour. Because one of the things I see is I see a lot of mortgage professionals, real estate professionals working 24/7. They're doing the big numbers, but they don't have a life. And that's not a sustainable, either physically or in their relationships. And so we have quite a few people coming to our organization or coming to our training. They say, I don't need more income. What I need is more life. And can you help me maintain altitude? where I can continue to do the 100 a year, 200 a year, whatever it is, the level they're playing, and not work so many hours. And so we focus a lot on efficiency and on what we call the vital few.
The vital few, I like that. So, there's principles, and then there's habits. And I know this is going to be an ambition ask, but I would love to get, from a ninja selling perspective, a few of the top realtors, and then knowing that you now also have a program specifically for loan officers that I think almost 1,000 loan officers have been through. I'd love to know the vital few from a ninja selling perspective for loan officers. So do you mind if we start with realtors? What are some of those vital few that you drive?
You bet. In fact, we've documented them. The best thing that, and we've modified this for mortgage, but we have something we call the Ninja 9. Okay. And it's these are 9 habits. 5 of them are daily habits, 4 of them are weekly habits. And if you follow the Ninja 9, and if you weren't doing it before and you start doing it, you'll end up being more efficient. You'll end up doing more business. Let me give an example. There's a person that I met up in Linwood, Washington. It's a suburb of Seattle. Her name's Corey Whitaker. When I first met her, she was doing, her income was about right at $250,000 a year of commission income, had a very nice business going. She had been in the business for 9 years. She came to our Ninja class and discovered the Ninja 9. The next year, her income was $700,000. She basically tripled her income. The year after that, she broke $1 million for the first time, and she's broken $1 million every year since, which is 4 years in a row. And what she commented to me, she said, Larry, it's easier for me to make $1 million a year being on purpose than $250,000 a year being on accident. Most people are, even some very productive, even some people that are with high income are on accident. They don't really have a good system. And so that's some of the results. What the Ninja 9 is, I can share with you if you want to path.
Bring it. Okay,
so the 5 daily habits. Habit number 1, when you wake up, give thanks, gratitudes, and your affirmations. Your affirmation focuses you on your why or your purpose. So it's very important to start your day with that. Secondly, stay on your agenda. Time block your day and don't open your email first thing. In fact, because when you open your email, you're on somebody else's agenda. So the Ninja 5 will take about 15 minutes at the start of your day. That email can wait 15 minutes, okay? And if you're using a cell phone for an alarm clock, put that on your stop doing list, because when the alarm goes off, you grab the phone, what do? You start checking your platforms, your Facebook, your text, your email, and so on. And now you're on everybody else's agenda. Number 3, write 2 personal notes. Most powerful thing you can send to another human. Number 4, focus on your hot list. Your hot list is people who want to do business right now. In real estate, it would be somebody that wants to buy or sell in the next 90 days. In the mortgage business, it would be pretty much the same thing. And the question is, where should I be spending my time today? Who are the people that are most ready to go? I need to focus on them. And then number 5 is your warm list. People who aren't ready to go today or this week, but they're ready to go in the next year. And so you want to start your day with the Ninja 5. I facilitated a top producer panel last fall. We had ninjas from 4 different states. Their production was, I think the lowest was 25 million, the highest was 50 million, 55 million, I believe. And I asked them, what is the one thing you learned from Ninja that helped you the most? And every one of them said the same thing, the Ninja 5. That when I get my day started right and I stay on my agenda, I have a great day. And if I do that every day, I have a great week. And then I have great months, and then I have a great year, and then I start to string great years together, kind of like Corey Whitaker. Now she's at a new level, $1 million a year in income, and she's working fewer hours. So that's the Ninja 5. Those are daily habits. The 4 weekly habits take a little bit longer. They take a couple hours. You need a time block of time during the week. Number 1, to make your customer service calls. That's habit number 6. Habit number 7 is in real estate. It's called a real estate review. In mortgage is called a mortgage review. And by the way, Mortgage Coach is a great tool, we believe, for that mortgage review and mortgage coaching. Number 8 is you need to get in what we call flow, face-to-face or voice-to-voice with 50 people per week. Now, one thing that's different in the mortgage business than the real estate, mortgage people have really 2 primary clients. They have their borrowers, and then they have their realtors. And so you need to set up and we teach you how to do this, a system of flow with your spheres of influence. And then number 9 is to make sure your database, have a set time each week to update your database. Take those scraps of paper, those sticky notes, those business cards that you've assembled all week in a pile. Make sure they don't remain in a pile. You put them in, because otherwise a week later you're scratching through the pile trying to find a phone number or an email. And what we have found is just that those 9 simple habits will dramatically shift your business. You'll become much more productive and much more efficient. Those are the vital few.
So I love that number 7 is annual reviews, because that's something that we advocate a lot. I just remembered, I think it was Jay Kroll that I interviewed. I think Jay has been through your program. Yeah. So Jay he's done over, I think he's done 2,000 Mortgage Coach total cost analysis. And I remember, I don't want to, Jay, if you're listening to this, I don't want to say you weren't doing annual reviews before this, but I seem to remember coming out of your program and just being recommitted to that annual review. And if you're a loan officer watching this, that one strategy can be career changing. Because not only are you getting incremental loans, not only are you building clients for life, but you're getting deals and opportunities before the realtor. You're getting something to bring back to your partner. So I just think it's a very magic strategy. So you know what? And I think Kelly Marsh has been through your program too. Yes. Kelly Marsh is another big mortgage coach who's done over 1,000 TCAs and talks about that. So let's talk a little bit about for loan officers. So we know for the most part, those are the same for mortgage and real estate, right?
The Ninja 9, yes. There's a little bit of a modification, but pretty much the same, yes.
So let's transition the rest of the call just to loan officers, so that they can partner better with realtors. They can show up with a greater level of leadership. What are some of the things that you teach loan officers, whether it's through the program that you do? And I know you have an emergent, 2, 3, is it a 2 or a 4-day program for mortgage professionals? For
mortgage professionals, it's a 2-day program. For real estate, it's a 4-day. And the main difference is that on the 4-day, we teach how to work with sellers. Mortgage professionals don't need to know how to work with sellers. They need to know how to work with realtors and buyers.
Yeah, well, for the most part, I remember when I first got introduced to you, big concept that came out, interview with Bill Hart, which, guys, I'm going to put down below. There'll be a link to my interview with Bill Hart. And I love that interview so much that I interviewed Bill about interviewing you. And so there's like 2 Larry Kindall interviews already in the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel. But at that time, I think it was called the dual market strategy. And there was a lot of advocacy around, hey, in the lower end, there's a lot of offers coming in. It is a seller's market, not necessarily a buyer's market, but there's kind of like the high end of the low end, sell in one market and then buy in the upper end. Is that dual market? Is that still a thing in most marketplaces?
Yeah, very much so, Dave. I think it's even more so now than when you had your interview with Bill. The upper end is slower. The mid-range to lower range is still pretty relatively hot. You can, it's the best move-up market I've seen in my 46 years in real estate. And when you throw in
that's a big statement.
Rates, I mean, it's spectacular. So if anybody ever wants their forever home, their dream home, now is the time for them to be able to make that move. And we've got to get the word out. And I think that's the message that all of us in the mortgage business and the real estate business need to do a better job of coaching our clients to let them know that opportunity is here.
So let's do this. I like to keep these interviews close to 20, 25 minutes. but I want to make sure we really crush what I think is a big idea after what you said. So mortgage professionals, let's assume they're doing annual reviews, and then let's assume that they're bringing that as a value prop to their real estate agents and saying, hey, I am bringing a whole nother layer of value, and let's together identify some of your database that, you know, is in that dual market. What do you call it, like that dual market paradigm where they can sell in one market, buy another market? What kind of leadership, what kind of advice do you have to loan officers on how to bring that strategy and actually be working the realtors database? You know, do you teach that? And if so, what are some high level notes on it?
Well, first of all, I think from a mortgage professional standpoint, the mortgage review is where a lot of that starts to take place. When you're doing mortgage reviews, all at once, your clients have the big aha that, oh my God, I could do this. And you can show them how to do it. I think, secondly, when you're coaching your realtor, clients, when you show them this idea, you're adding value to them. You're showing them how they could improve their business. Another thing that we've found that kind of ties into this is counseling people when you're doing the mortgage review. Take a look at how much equity they have created. We've had a big run up in appreciation over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and people are sitting on huge equities. And when you just point that out, say, gee, it looks to me like with your house, with your rental properties, you've got over $1 million here. You know, if you could wave a magic wand and do something with that, what would you do? And when you ask that question, it's amazing what people come up with. They say, you know, maybe I should take a little bit of money out and buy an investment property, or buy a vacation home, a resort home. Or it's interesting what that opens up, but it opens up opportunities for lenders and for realtors.
So a couple things for every mortgage professional, make sure you're asking that question. And then when the family tells you, hey, these are my goals, these are my dreams, bring that to life with a total cost analysis, a move up analysis, an investment property analysis. But at the end of the day, the mortgage professional that's helping families build wealth through smarter mortgage decisions is going to have a whole nother layer of value to real estate agents. And I know Larry sees that. I mean, that's one of the ways I was able to get him on an interview, is I think you've heard enough loan officers that have gone through your program that use Mortgage Coach for the annual reviews that you're like, this is something that we want to see more of in the marketplace.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the fastest way to crank up the volume on your business is the mortgage review and using Mortgage Coach.
So if you are a mortgage coach and you have been through Larry Kindall's Ninja Selling Training and you're using Mortgage Coach in that process, I'm looking for interviews. You can either PM me, email me. I would love to do a follow-up email with a top producer that's a mutual customer of ours, and just talk about success stories and strategies around that. So let us know. So Larry, I'm interviewing you because I knew, one, it'd be a valuable 20 minutes, but I also know, because I have a lot of clients that have been through your Ninja Selling program, that the best way to serve is for people to go through an emergent experience. I mean, calls like this are valuable. They give you reminders, they give you ideas, but it's multiple day workshops where you actually change behavior and you change skills. So could you just really quickly describe what it looks like and sounds like to go through one of your 2-day programs?
Yeah, we actually call our programs installations, because we don't just teach the information, we actually install it. So you walk out of there kind of like with the software installed. And you're exactly right, Dave. When you go into an immersion type of training, you come out of there with changed. It's not just, I'll go back to the way I was doing it. You're gonna basically be a ninja for 2 days. And so we start out with day one with mindset, how you run your brain, how you program or reprogram your brain. We move then into how you communicate with others, how you read body language, how you read personalities, learning modalities. Then we get into how you generate business through what we call flow, and how you create a flow system not only with realtors but also with your clients. And then we finish up with what we call the 10-step buyer process, and how to walk a buyer through that process, and what happens when you do that, how much more efficient you are, how much more clear. We believe that whenever somebody says, I want to think about it, it's because they're either confused or they're afraid. And if you try to start, quote, overcoming objections, they're going to become more afraid. And so it works against you. So our whole approach is to help them become clear. And clarity is the key, and that's what our systems are designed to do.
Well, I love that. If someone wanted to learn more or sign up for one of your programs, where would they go?
Go to www.ninjaselling.com and click on events, and we'll take good care of you.
And here's another tip for everybody listening to this. Go out and get this book. Over 100,000 realtors have read it. 80,000 realtors have gone through the program. As a mortgage professional, if you want to be the best, I always put mortgage coach, hashtag be the best. If you want to be the best, this is a must-read book. And then if you have read it, buy some for your realtors. Do a mastermind with your realtors. Find realtors in your local marketplace that have been through this training program and create a ninja selling mastermind in your local marketplace. You wouldn't mind if they did that, would you, Larry?
I would love it. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah. Well, it makes a lot of sense to me. And I just love, principles, like how many times have we heard, wake up in the morning, think about gratefulness. A grateful heart is a happy heart, and a happy heart can change the game. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yes.
And when you don't come from a place of gratitude, you may say the right words, but you're not saying them with the right level of energy. So I love the way you have these just foundations of success, and then you have these tactics like annual reviews. So we're going to wrap this up, Larry. Any last words, things that you want to make sure the mortgage coach community hears? I hope this isn't the last interview, but any last words before we wrap it up?
Well, we usually finish our last words in Ninja with something we call TSW. The system works. So if you work the system will work for you.
I love that. And that's another thing. Most successful loan officers, they have systems and they implement them consistently. So if you got a takeaway from this, give it a like. If you loved anything in it, give us a love. Share it with your mortgage friends. For managers, branch managers that are serious about success, I think this is one of those interviews that you might want to schedule a sales meeting around and come up with some ideas. The dual market strategy is a game changer. Taking your annual reviews and turning that into a conversation with your real estate agents and talking to them about how you can create incremental transactions. Big idea. And lastly, if you are a mortgage coach and you've been through the program, remember to reach out to me. I am looking for another interview on Ninja Selling. Larry Kindall, thank you, my man.
I appreciate you. Thanks.
Take care. Appreciate you.